There are moments in the world of entertainment that feel like quiet shifts in the universe, but then there are moments that shatter the silence completely, leaving millions of heartbeats suspended in time. For years, the world watched two figures navigate an industry built on optical illusions, silent glares, carefully scripted distance, and the heavy weight of unsaid words. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan were never just two co-stars who shared a screen. They became an anchor for a global audience that saw something undeniable beneath the surface of televised appearances and polished red carpets. Ever since the world fell in love with their undeniable on-screen chemistry, every glance, every shared smile, and every deliberate step away from each other seemed to tell a much deeper story than any interview ever could. The tension between their undeniable closeness and the industry's demand for separation created an atmosphere where fans learned to read between the lines, searching for truth in the spaces where words were forbidden. The story of their journey was never a simple rise to fame, but rather a complex web of shared history, massive public scrutiny, and a bond that seemed to withstand the fiercest storms of the media landscape. When they first stepped into the public eye together, there was an infectious energy, a mutual understanding that did not require grand declarations or public validation. Viewers caught glimpses of candid laughter behind the scenes, subtle touches during long shooting hours, and an organic comfort that contrasted sharply with the calculated nature of the entertainment world. But as the collective popularity soared to unprecedented heights, the surrounding world shifted from admiration to an intense, overwhelming microscope. The very bond that brought them together became the subject of relentless speculation, industry pressures, and endless debates, forcing a visible wall of distance between two people who once seemed completely inseparable. As the years passed, that growing distance became the most tragic chapter of their public narrative for millions of observers worldwide. Red carpets that once saw them standing side by side suddenly became grounds for careful avoidance, with event organizers ensuring their paths rarely crossed. The playful interactions were replaced by professional composure, and the warm eyes that once reflected unspoken camaraderie began to look tired under the bright, unrelenting lights of public expectations. Media outlets analyzed every single movement, turning simple award show seating charts into grand conspiracy theories, while fans quietly mourned the apparent loss of a friendship that had once felt so genuine and indestructible. The tragedy was not just in their physical separation, but in the palpable sense of restraint that seemed to weigh on both of them whenever the names were brought up in conversation. Then came the moment that changed everything, a day that felt as though time itself had slowed down to deliver an unexpected truth. It was not a grand press conference filled with flashbulbs and PR handlers, nor was it a carefully crafted social media statement polished by corporate executives. Instead, it was an raw, unfiltered atmosphere where the heavy armor of celebrity status finally cracked open, revealing the vulnerable reality beneath years of silence. For the first time in what felt like a lifetime, the walls came down, and the true nature of their connection was laid bare before an audience that could barely process the emotional weight of what was transpiring. Every hidden emotion, every year of quiet endurance, and every unspoken feeling seemed to rush to the surface all at once, creating a wave of raw emotion that swept through the hearts of everyone watching. To truly understand the weight of this overwhelming revelation, one has to look back at the quiet sacrifices made in the shadows over the years. Operating in an environment where personal lives are constantly dissected and consumed for public entertainment, maintaining any form of genuine human connection requires immense courage and painful compromise. There were nights spent avoiding the public eye, quiet moments swallowed by the noise of rumors, and the heavy burden of keeping something pure safe from a chaotic industry. The emotional toll of having to hide a profound bond, of acting like strangers in front of cameras after sharing life-altering experiences behind them, created a deep, aching tragedy that resonated with millions who understood the pain of suppressed truth. As the emotional climax unfolded, the sheer honesty of the moment overwhelmed the senses of those who had followed the journey from the very beginning. The subtle tremble in a voice, the lingering eye contact that carried years of unspoken history, and the profound vulnerability displayed on screen broke down every barrier that had been built over years of media management. It was a realization that went far beyond mere gossip or celebrity headlines. It was a testament to the resilience of human emotion when faced with insurmountable pressure. Seeing two people who had been pushed apart by the world finally stand in their absolute truth created an atmosphere of profound catharsis, where tears of heartbreak and relief merged into a singular, unforgettable memory. The aftermath of this monumental shift continues to ripple across the landscape, altering the way people view the reality of fame and the genuine human beings existing behind the shimmering facade of stardom. What was revealed was not just a simple statement or a headline, but the quiet enduring strength of a bond that refused to be erased by time, distance, or societal expectations. Millions of viewers around the world were left processing a complex mix of sorrow for the years spent in silence and deep respect for the bravery it took to finally let the truth breathe. It remains a historic, deeply moving chapter in contemporary culture, a timeless reminder that behind the grand stages, the flashing cameras, and the endless noise of the world, the human heart will always fight to find its way back to where it truly belongs.